How's it going, guys? We're back with another video, and in this video, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about the steps and the concepts and the tips you can use on how to be better in general at quickscoping in Call of Duty World War II. So the first tip that we're going to get into is lining up your crosshairs on the target. The crosshairs are the 4 marks on the screen right here. So what you're going to want to do is just line up the target in the center of those, so that way whenever you zoom in, you'll be zooming in as close to him as possible, because that's where the crosshairs are. It's a rough estimate of where you'll be aiming, and that's why no scoping is inefficient. And then also, if you notice, here, let me show you right here. Also, if you notice, when I walk or when I run, my crosshairs get a lot bigger. And then when I stop moving, they're smaller. When I crouch, they get even smaller. And then when I lay down, they are the smallest. And that'll get into something that we're going to talk about later. But pretty much just for this tip, you're going to want to work on, say you turn a corner, just setting up your targets in the center of your crosshair. So as you can see, just set them up, shoot like that, set it up. So it just makes it so you have less adjustments to make after you already zoom in. So you can just set it up in the middle, zoom in, shoot. It makes it that much easier. If you work on that, it'll get your accuracy up a lot. So the next tip that we're going to get into is working on Dragscoping. And if you don't know what Dragscoping is, it was very relevant in Black Ops 1 games like that where there's a lot of sweat. It's not a necessity in World War II, but it helps a lot. It goes along with the whole lining up your crosshairs, because say you don't line them up right, you're trying to hit the bullseye and you aim over here, you're just going to work on making those little adjustments when you aim in. So a way to practice this is aim a little to the left or the right of the target like that, and then work on just bringing the scope over and hitting it like that. It's just the little adjustments that you can make, which you want to use a lot for if you're not lined up, somebody comes around the corner off guard, you can aim over here, drag over, hit them like that. So you're going to work on your drag scoping and just making those little adjustments after you zoom in, as quick as you can, just little snaps like that, long distance, stuff like that, just to work on those little adjustments that you make after you zoom in, so you can be even more accurate. The next step that we're going to get into is kind of intertwined with the other two that we talked about. It's pretty much just to make your accuracy better. What you're going to want to do is minimize your movement as much as possible to maximize your accuracy. A lot of people in Modern Warfare 2, I developed this shot in Modern Warfare 2 at least, where you will just, like, when you zoom in, you crouch down when you shoot, because it does, you know, obviously makes your crosshair smaller. So that's something that I just picked up. I see a few other players have it too, where you just, when you shoot, you crouch down and shoot like that. It's just a little rhythm that I got into, and if you were into it, if you want to get into it too, it helps a lot. Just crouching right before you shoot. It's a little tactic that's been around for a while that I find helps a lot. For these next few tips, we're going to hop into a private match. That's an L. I didn't set a class up. Okay, well, you're going to want to set a class up, but it's okay. We'll just use this preset class. So for the first tip we're going to talk about while we're here is use those 3 tips that I just gave you, and you're going to want to go ahead and take those, hop into a private match, and really practice, you know, lining people up in your crosshairs, practice drag scoping, just practice your shot in general in a private match. So just put a bunch of bots in there and practice on your shot in a private match. This is not necessarily a tip, but just get accustomed to the sensitivity that you like to play on, just to make it easier. You don't necessarily have to be on 14 sensitivity while you're playing, but some people play like that. Some people play with a lower sensitivity. But anyways, the next tip that we're going to get into is practice holding down key choke points on the map. So places that there's a lot of traffic through, you want to hold down those positions. Instead of just running around the map trying to pick off one person here, one person there, you're going to want to go to key points. Like, for example, on this map, this spawn point is a key point, that spawn point is a key point, and obviously the center of the map. So what you're going to want to do is, in an online match where there's a teammates and spawn switch and stuff, you're going to want to stay at, say, we'll just say this point for an example. You're going to want to stay here, and then you're going to want to wait for the people to come to you. So stay in a key point of the map where there's a lot of traffic, and wait for people to come to you, because therefore you're more stationary, and they're easier to hit clips because your aim is better, and plus there's just going to be more people, and most of the time they'll be running around unexpectedly over here. So you can hold down key points on the map to increase your clip. So the next tip that we're going to get into is use what sniper is best for you. So although the Kar 98 is technically the best sniper in the game, that does not necessarily mean that it's the best for you to use. So what you're going to want to do is just experiment and play with all the different snipers and different attachments. So, you know, maybe you're better with the M1, because I feel like my shot personally is a lot better with the M1 or the Springfield. I feel like it's a lot better with the Springfield than it is with the Kar 98. Although the Kar 98 is the best gun in the game, I feel like I'm more accurate with this gun. So what you're just going to want to mess around with the snipers. You know, say you want to use the Lee Enfield. I feel like it's best with the 4 times the ACOG scope. Maybe you think it's better with the regular scope, or maybe you're better with the ACOG like me. or you want to try iron sights, just mess around with the attachments and the guns and stuff like that and see what works best for you, because it doesn't necessarily mean that since it's the best gun in the game, it's the best for you. So you just want to figure out which one is the best for you to use and which one you are the best with. So the next tip that we're going to get into is going to be find the game mode that is best for you. So what that means is just go out, test all the different game modes, you know, team deathmatch. I'm in domination in here. It really depends on what you like more and what you feel more comfortable with. I found that war is the best for hitting clips, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe you don't like playing war because it's repetitive, something like that. I found that war is the best just because that everybody's playing the objectives. A lot of people in one area. It's easy to hit clips in war, I feel like. But maybe you don't like that. Maybe you're more of a free-for-all type of person. So really just mess around with all the different game modes and find what you like the best. So whether it be team deathmatch, domination, find it and just stick to that and get really good at that. So yeah, that's for that tip. Just find the game mode you like. You know, try out maybe some of the ones that I've said. Maybe you're a free-for-all player, whatever. Just try out whatever you like and just go roll with that. Okay, so my final tip for you guys is just be patient and have fun, because I mean, in the end, it's still a video game, you know what I mean? So you still want to enjoy it. You don't want to just sit there raging, and if you had a kid to take to soccer, you don't want to miss his soccer practice to play World War II, you know? Just relax, have fun with it. It's still a game. And be patient with the clips. Don't get frustrated. You're not going to be the best player if you're just getting the game, or if you're just new to quickscoping. You're not going to just go out there and hit 5-ons after you practice your aim and stuff. It happens. Clips just happen in this game because it depends on the other player, really. So you're going to want to just make your skills as good as you can and just use those and just wait. Just be patient, because if you're playing right and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then it'll happen eventually. You just got to be patient and let it happen. Don't sit there and try to force it and get frustrated after 2 games and all you hit is a double. Don't. Just be patient with it and have fun with it. That's the final tip I can give you guys. So that's the final tip I want to give you guys, and in the end, it's the most important. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. Let me know you liked it. I mean, if you liked it, let me know you liked it. I don't see why not. If you didn't like it, let me know you didn't like it. Give me some constructive criticism, you know, let me down in the comment section below. I always read my comments, obviously, because I don't got shit else to do. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
County represent how you signing with the industry is still irrelevant. Lil Larry, the hottest rapper out of County, and I spread that China.